press record on there. We'll get the music on and we will get started. So sitting then in a position that's comfortable for you. Oh, I'm going to have to use different music, aren't I, because of putting it on YouTube. I can't have my normal playlist. So let's go with that one. Okay, so sitting in a position then that's comfortable for you. Closing into the eyes then if you're happy to do so. So as you inhale, lift up through the spine. And then as you exhale, take the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale again, lift up through the spine. And as you exhale this time, relax and release into the hips. So really notice now at the beginning of the class how the body feels. Any areas that you feel hold particular tension, or any areas that you feel are imbalanced from one side of the body to the other. Really focus on these areas now, and hopefully then at the end of the class you'll feel more relaxed and released. So I want you to pay particular attention to the hips. We're going to work deeply through the hips and the hamstrings in today's class. So really notice how open you feel in this area. The hips and the shoulders are closely linked, so any openness you feel in the hips will hopefully also be shadowed within the shoulders. So notice how the shoulders feel and the chest centre. So again, inhale, lift up through the spine. And as you exhale, let go of anything that no longer serves you. Inhale, then open into the eyes. Exhale, take the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale all the way up to the ceiling. Back to centre. And again, take the chin down a little bit deeper this time. And lift up. Taking it all the way up to the ceiling. So lift the chin a little bit higher, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Back to centre. So again, last one here, tucking the chin all the way in. Now hold the chin here, feel the stretch increase down the spine, through the shoulders, all the way down into the pelvis. Okay. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lifting all the way up. Chin right the way to the ceiling. Feel the openness through the front of the throat. Back then to centre. So when you take the left ear to the left shoulder, think about that. Now place the hand of the right side down on the mat. Pushing into the floor, increasing that stretch down the side of the neck. Roll the head forwards, replace the hand wherever is comfortable. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Then replace the left hand down, pushing into the mat. See if you can then increase the stretch. Replace the hand, roll forwards this time. And then as you come up, look up and over the left shoulder. And roll down. Looking up then and over the right. Bring it back to centre and looking up. So arms out to the side, spread and separate into the fingers. Take the first finger to thumb, forwards with your circle. Pushing into the heels of the hands. Backwards with your circle. Oh, clicky wrists today. Pushing into the heels of the hands. Spread and separate the fingers. Second finger to thumb. Forwards with your circle. Push into the heels of the hands. And backwards. Push into the heels of the hands. Spread and separate the fingers. Third finger to thumb. Forwards with your circle. Pushing into the heels of the hands. And backwards. Spread and separate the fingers, little finger to thumb. Forwards with the circle. Pushing into the heels of the hands. Backwards with your circle. Pushing into the heels of the hands. Spread and separate the fingers, really push into the heels of the hands. Push, push, push. Keep breathing, little circles forward. So we're going to keep these circles small. Keep pushing the heels of the hands away. Now reverse those circles, going backwards. From here, push into the heels of the hands. Turn the palms to the ceiling, hands come onto the shoulders. Elbows come to shoulder width, arms out. Hands back on the shoulders, elbows come back out. Release. And again, into the shoulders. Exhale, elbows to shoulder width. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, arms in. Inhale, open. Exhale out. One more here, hands to the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right arm down to the side, left arm up alongside the ear. So you're going to push into that right hand, bring the right ribs out from underneath, where you're going to expand it to the left side. Walk the hand a little bit further away, increasing that stretch. Inhale, lift up, bring the arms over to the other side. So you're going to push into the left hand, bring the left ribs out from underneath, and breathe, go and expand into that right side. Down a time, not sure how loud it is on there, but it's a bit loud here. So walk the hand a little bit further away, increase that stretch. So then I want you to bring the hands forwards in front of you, interlace the fingers, chin to the chest, push the knuckles away. Inhale, hands to the ceiling, arms alongside the ears, really push the ceiling away. When you're ready, take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back and down. So you squeeze the shoulder blades together, take the gaze up, draw the knuckles down. Now from here I want you to flex forward, so start from a side view. You're going to flex forward from the hips, bringing the arms with you. So this will look really different for everybody. You may be quite high up and the arms might be quite low, or the arms might be really high, or the head might be all the way down to the mat. But like I said, it's going to look different for everybody, so work with what works for you. Each exhale, getting that little bit deeper, try and draw the arms up that little bit more. And then when you're ready, lifting up to centre. So take the hands out in front of you and walk the fingertips forward. So if the mat's too far away for the hands and it's not comfortable, just send the fingertips forwards. So you're either leaning forwards or walking those fingertips forward. So again, this will look very different. You may be quite high up, or you may find yourself all the way down. Keep breathing. Each exhale, walk those fingers that little bit further forwards. Keep breathing there. And when you're ready, lifting up. So we're going to take the soles of the feet together. Hands are going to take hold of the feet, and then you're going to wiggle into the knees just to begin to warm up the hip flexors, which we're going to get quite nice and deep into today. So from there, elbows come into the corners of the knees. The hands are going to take hold of the ankles. Now push the knees out. Try here not to round the chest. Lift the chest center up and forward so the shoulders are away from the ears. And you're flexing them from the hips as you lean forwards. So from there, I want you to take the hands out in front of you. Now you can either hold the hands or just push the hands forward and just rock. As you're doing so, push the knees out to the sides of the room. So as you come forward, try not to let the knees lift, push them down towards the mat. And then push forwards and hold. Push those knees out, out, out. And when you're ready, then breathe in and lift up. Legs then come out to the side, so coming into a straddle position. Feet are pointing towards the ceiling. Knees are going to stay lifted up. Don't let them roll forward, so keep them lifted. So we're going to walk the hands forwards here. So again, if you find the floor's too far away, just shine the hands forwards. So again, this is going to look really different for everybody. You might be quite high up. You might find that you can come all the way down. It is individual to you. One of the joys of being online is that you don't have anybody next to you on a mat, so you don't look, not that you ever should, because there's no ego on a mat, but there's no temptation when you're at home. Each exhale, walk that a little bit deeper. Now we need to walk the hands over, forgot my phone, to the left foot. So you can touch it if you want to, or the hands just come next to it. So again, you might be quite high up here, that doesn't matter. And we're already warming up.
You go through or move that to.
So keep breathing there. Now we need to walk back to centre. Stretch that a little bit further forwards. And then walk over to the right side. So again, you can touch the toes if you can and want to, or you can just bring the hands down. Keep pushing those heels away, don't let the feet just fall, they need to have a nice flex through them. You're getting comfy, Jojo. And back to centre. So again, we're going to lift up. Hands are either going to be clasped or you're just going to push them forwards. And again, you're pulsing. So that movement comes from the hips. The feet are pushing away in a flexed position. And then hold it forwards. Push those heels away, away, away. And then lift. Now when the arms come up on the left side, you're going to shine the right fingertips towards your left foot and your left hand's coming towards your right foot. So you're just crisscrossing the arms and stretching. So energy through them, don't allow them to hang, really push them away from one another. Inhale, lift, arms come out. Exhale over to the other side. And again, lift. Back over to the original side. And get that a little bit deeper. Think about trying to get your toes, but don't let the arm fall over your face. And again, lift. Over to the other side. Really push the fingertips away. Inhale up, one more each side. Over to the right. Nice. And lift. Last one over to the left. And then roll it forwards, fingertips together. Roll the shoulders, chin to the chest. Then when you're ready, roll up, knees together, and a little shake through the legs. So then we're going to come onto an all fours position. So hands are underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart, knees are underneath the hips, hip distance apart. We're going to drop the head, drop the tailbone, push up through the back. On the inhale, belly drops to the mat, lift the head, lift the tailbone and look up. Exhale, drop the head, drop the tailbone, push up into that cat stretch. Really push the shoulder blades towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly to the mat, lift the head, lift the tailbone. And one more, drop the head, drop the tailbone, pushing up, up, up. Relax and release down to the neutral position. So we are going to bring our leg up to hip height. If you can, keep it at hip height. If you need to lower it, that's fine. Try and get it up as high as you can. So we're going to do the sequence 3 times. Legs lifted, foot is flexed. From there, we're going to take it across the body So it comes back behind you and then look over the shoulder at your foot. Now here, if you look, my foot's up in the air and my knee is further down. Now if you watch my hip, if I open that hip, the foot and the knee come aligned. So here the hip's closed, the foot's higher up, open that hip and they come aligned. So you really want to think about opening the hip as you lift over. We'll then change from the point to the flex, bringing it back round to the side, and then do that sequence 3 times. Hands always remain flat on the mat. So as you come round, try not to lift the heel of the hand that's nearest the leg. All right, so hands nice and wide spread in your all fours position. You are going to take the left leg back and up. Now flex it and bring it to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Nice. Now change that flex to a point, take it back behind you. So now look over your right shoulder at your left foot and open that hip. Yeah, nice. Inhale, bring it back round, change the point to a flex, look over the left shoulder. Keep that leg up, work that bottom. Change from the flex to the point, bring it around and over. So again, open that hip. Try and get that knee and the foot aligned. Taking it back round. Last one here, looking over the left shoulder. Change from the flex to the point, bring it up and over. Looking over the right shoulder at your left foot. Coming back then to the neutral position. Exactly the same process on the other side. So you're taking the right leg back behind you, flexing the foot, bringing it round to the right. So this time the right palm, make sure it's all on connection with the mat. Look over the right shoulder at the right foot. Change from the flex to the point, bringing it round. Now open that right hip, trying to get the knee and the foot in alignment. And when you're ready, bring it back round, change from the point to the flex. Over the right shoulder at your foot. Change from the flex to the point, and again, bring it round, open. Last one, change from the point to the flex, bring it round, look over that right shoulder. Change from the flex to the point, and open up. Bringing it back to the neutral position, take yourself back to child's pose and stretch through those glutes. Fingertips forwards, forehead down towards the mat. Really tuck that tailbone under. And when you're ready, breathe in and lift up. So we're going to come to stand. So you can stand up however you want. I'm going to tuck my toes and lift the knees and then lift up with the arms. Bring your prayer to your heart center. Just going to tip that up slightly because I think I lost my head. There we go. Alright, so we are going to do 3 rounds of the initial sun sail. So not stepping back, just the forward bend and then coming up, bringing the hands to the shins, looking forward. So really thinking about stretching the backs of the legs. We'll come up each time we go down, go a little bit deeper. And then once we've done 3 sets of that, we're going to take the fingertips under the toes and the hands behind the cuffs, but I'll explain that when we get there. So I'm going to turn on my side, you can stay facing, it's just so that you can see from the side. So your feet are going to be underneath the hips, hip distance apart. And then you're going to inhale, lift up. And then as you exhale, flex forward from the hips and come into a forward bend. So the knees can be bent here, they don't have to be straight. And then I want you to think about lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, lengthening the backs of the hamstring. So if you've got straight legs, just remember that the soft tissue on the backs of the knees just needs to remain a little bit squishy. Don't lock the knees out. And if the knees are bent, just think about extending the tailbone up and think about sending the breath to the backs of the legs so that you can begin to straighten those knees a little bit more. So your torso wants to melt down towards the thighs. And the head's melting down towards the shins and the ankles. So you're not rounding that upper back. You're not trying to get the head to the knees. Or more the chest towards the knees. Now bend the knees, breathe in and lift the arms all the way up. Exhale, arms are going to come down to the side of the body. We go again a little bit deeper. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. I forgot to do the half lift. We'll do that this time. So in your forward bend, knees can bend if they need to, again. So just try and get a little bit deeper this time, whether that's straightening the legs a little bit more, whether that's bringing the torso towards the thighs a bit more, or bringing the head all the way down towards the ankles. Whatever works for you and your practice, just try and get yourself a little bit deeper. And use the breath to help you. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Now take the hands to the shins and look forwards. Think about taking the shoulders away from the ears. Nice flat back position. That's what we forgot last time. So hopefully you'll feel that up the backs of the legs. Everybody feels things differently. So if you don't panic. Now fold back down. Bend the knees. Breathe in and lift all the way up. Exhale, hands down to the side. So again, we're going to go down a little bit deeper, come into that half lift, and then we'll come back up to do the toes and the calves. So inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. All the way down. So again, really lengthen. So make sure that the feet are evenly spaced on the mat, that you've got the same weight on the balls as the heels. So you don't want to lift it up in either the toes or the heels. Really melt the chest center down. If you close your eyes and visualize your torso in contact with the thighs and your head all the way down to the ankles, the visualization may help you get a little bit deeper. If the knees are bent, really think about lengthening them out. Not so much that they shake, just so much that you can feel the tension and it's a nice stretch. Hands to the shins, look forwards, shoulders away from the ears. Back down on the exhale. Bend the knees, breathe in and lift all the way up. This time bringing the prayer to the heart center. So when we come down this time, what I want you to do is when you're down there, so if the knees need to be bent, they can be, it doesn't matter. You're going to take the hands underneath the toes. I don't know why I have little jazz hands going on there, but woohoo. Underneath the toes. Now, you're going to use your hands to draw yourself deeper down, 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 down. Now, if you don't like the hands under the toes, you can use the 2 first fingers of the hands and link them around the big toe and then draw yourself down that way. So you're bringing yourself down. Now, when we come up and go back down, we're going to use the calves. So the hands underneath the feet will draw us down. The hands behind the calves are going to do an opposite movement and draw us in. So when you're coming down with the toes, don't worry about coming all the way in. You're thinking about coming down, 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 down. And then when we come back down, we'll go to the point where you can draw yourself inwards. All right? So we're going down twice more, and then we're done with the forward folds and we'll move on. So inhale, lift. Exhale, flex all the way forward. Hands come to the mat. So again, knees can be bent. Now you're going to lift the toes or take the first 2 fingers around the big toe, whatever works for you. Now use the hands underneath the feet or holding the toes to draw yourself down, 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 down. Think about straightening the legs that little bit more or sending the tailbone all the way up to the ceiling. You can really use your exhale to get deeper. And don't worry about drawing the head in right now. You're thinking about the forehead coming down to the mat in front of the feet, not towards the legs. Each exhale, send to those hamstrings. Roll the leg muscles out, engage them. If anybody just did that and felt it, it makes a big difference. Okay, when you're ready, take the hands out from underneath the toes. Bend the knees, breathe in and lift all the way up. Bringing the prayer to your heart center. So this time we go down. I want you to bring the hands to the mat first. And then when you get yourself in a comfortable position, bring the hands behind the calves. So don't go straight down for the calves. Get yourself as far down as you can, and then we're going to beat them. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. That movement comes from the hips. So hands come to the mat initially. Get yourself comfortable. And then when you're down as far as you can, take the hands behind the calves. Using then the calves to draw you inwards. Nice. Keep sending that breath to the backs of the legs. Remember to release the shoulders away from the ears, don't scrunch up. Each exhale, melt down that little bit more. When you're ready, bend the knees, breathe in and lift all the way up. Bringing your prayer to your heart center. So grab a drink at any point throughout that you want to. I'm going to show you now what we're going to do in our downward dog. You are going to end up facing forwards, but I want to show you it from the side because am I going to need to do it forwards? No, actually I think I might do it side on anyway. But I'm going to show you because whilst we're in the downward dog, I don't want you craning your head to look at the screen or anything. But we're going to end up in a lunge forward, at which point you'll be able to see me. So I'm not going to go through the whole shebang, just the bit that we're up in our downward dog. So when we come into our downward dog position, we're going to lift one of our legs up, bend at the knee, flex the foot, and open that hip. So as we did in the warm-up, you're opening the hip, and then we'll look over the opposite shoulder at our foot. Then from there, we're going to come back to center. The weight is going to shift forward, so it's over the shoulders or over the wrists. The knee comes to the nose or towards the nose. It doesn't need to connect. You're then going to come back up to your three-legged dog and perform 2 circles with the leg. Perform, that was very posh of me. Then you're going to come forward, weight again over the wrists. Knee comes to the outside elbow. You'll go back up and 2 circles. Now if it's too much, coming forwards on the feet, drop the knee down. You can do exactly the same movements, the knee to the nose or the knee to the outside if you are on all fours. And then you'll just do your circles with the knee down. Okay, third and final one will be crossing the body. So that knee comes to the opposite elbow. Again, can be done with the knee down. 2 circles. And then that foot's going to come through and you'll come into a low lunge position. So if you're already in the low position, you're just going to bring that foot through to come into the low lunge. So everything that we do in downward dog can be done in your all fours position also. And then I'll be able to see you. Have your pillows or cushions or whatever it is you've got, blocks, whatever, nearby so that you can use it. Ooh, I was going to say I haven't got mine because they're in the garage, but I can use this. So have them nearby to the front of your mat, but you won't need them just yet. So we're going to come into our downward dog position. So knees on the mat, come into that all fours position. But what I want you to do is move the hands one space forwards at the shoulders, just to give you that little bit of extra pushback. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, coming up then to downward dog. So draw back from the wrists, roll the shoulders back and down, engage the upper arm muscles, roll the leg muscles outwards. Now lift the left leg up into the air, flex at the knee, flex the foot, look over your right shoulder at your left foot. So really open that hip. Now bring yourself back to center. Draw the weight forward. So here you can come down onto your fours position if you're doing so. Knee towards the nose, either from your downward dog or in that all fours position. Leg comes back up, either from the all fours or the downward dog, and 2 big circles. Woo, she says, and I've just said myself wibbly wobbly. Okay, weight comes forwards again on all fours or in your downward dog. Knee to the same elbow. Leg comes back up, 2 circles. 1, 2. Weight comes forward again. You're going to cross the body, whether the knees are up or down. Squeeze. Send that leg back up. 1, 2. Now that foot's going to come through between the palms of the hands, dropping the back knee. If the knee was already down, bring the foot through, give it a hand to the front of the mat, and you're going to come up into a low lunge position. Nice. Arms are going to come up. Now you're going to push the hips forwards here, but what I don't want you to do is just sink in the hips. So you want to engage the front quad, engage the lower abs, arms up and push the hips forwards. None of this. Keep that engagement, just push, push, push. Now you're going to exhale, bring the hands to frame the front foot. Now come onto the fingertips. Some of you may be able to do it with the palms of the hands, but come onto the fingertips just for now. We're going to tuck the back toe, lift the knee, and straighten both legs as you push the hips back. So you might need a little bend in that, like a micro bend in that front knee, but that's fine. If you've got blocks or a cushion that you want to use, you can, but we're not going to be here for long. So a little bend is fine, or coming right onto the fingertips. If you can, palms of the hands. Keep sending your breath to the back of that front leg. Make sure the hips are parallel to the front of the mat, so you don't want one turning outwards. One more breath here, keep breathing. If you can, straight and strong through those legs. Now when you're ready, drop the back knee and drop the front of the foot. Now we're going to heel toe that left foot out slightly so that you've got space for both of your hands inside that front foot. I'm going to turn the front leg on so that you can see here. So you may want, I'm actually going to turn the other way. See, this is why I need a round mat today. So you may want to lift that back knee and move it back a bit. So that makes the distance between your knees deeper, so the stretch will be deeper. If you're comfortable with it here, please do leave it there. It's completely up to you. Now, blocks or cushions are going to come inside this front foot. Move back a bit so you can see. So, think about the knee squeezing into the back of the shoulder. So as you come down, I don't want the knee to come out, squeeze it in. And then lower down onto the forearms. Oh, Joe, I can smell your candle now. I put your candle on today and I've just got a waft. It's lovely. I couldn't smell it earlier, but it's come out. Oh, there's Lizzie's dog. I can just see her bum. Oh, there's her. So squeeze that knee in towards the elbow. Now, if you're quite comfortable without a cushion, you can just come down onto the floor. So the forearms are on the floor. If you haven't got a cushion or anything, you can just have the palms of the hands and bend the elbows backwards as you bring the chest center towards the floor. So keep breathing. Squeeze that knee in towards the back of the shoulder. Now I want you to take the focus to pushing that knee out as you roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. Again, exactly the same if you're on your cushion. Push it out, out, out. See if you can get a little bit deeper here. Keep sending that breath into the front hip. So you're feeling this stretch probably quite deeply in the front hip, but you're also stretching the front of the back hip. So that's like a little secret stretch because you're focusing so much on the front one. Roll back onto the sole of the foot. And then I want you to come up. Discard your blocks or your cushions. Now the next move you may need to do in two pieces. I want you to heel toe that left foot out a little bit and turn the toes towards the wall. You're then going to tuck the back toes and lift the knee. And then from here, if you can do it in one movement, you're going to step the back foot all the way forward to come into a squat. If not, hop it, hop it, hop it. Okay? So you've got options. Or you can just step it and then come back down into the squat, whatever works for you. So if you can, hop forwards. Right, now you're going to send the hips down, coming into a squat. Again, this will look really different for everybody. So you might be quite high in your squat, which is absolutely fine. You might be quite low, whatever works for you. So the toes are pointing slightly outwards. You're going to bring your prayer together. If you can, get the hands and the backs of the arms, in the knees. Push the prayer together, lift the chest and push those knees out. Couple of breaths here. You look like a little frog, so like this. Okay, hands come down to the mat, the hips are going to lift, and then you're going to heel toe the feet so they come underneath the hips, coming into your forward fold. Okay. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, breathe in and lift all the way up, and bring your prayer to your heart center. So we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So again, that hop forwards into the yogi squat is going to be there. If it's uncomfortable getting into it by hopping back, I'm aware the distance is quite large. So do a couple of little hops forwards, or just stand yourself up from the lunge, come to the front of your mat and come down into your squat. If it doesn't flow, you just know me, I like to put it in a flow. Exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to come down to our hands and knees and come back up to downward dog. So down to your all fours position. Hands on one, space forwards of the shoulders. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and all the way back. So again, draw back from the wrists, roll the shoulders back and down, engage the upper arm muscles, roll those leg muscles out. Now this time lift the right leg up. Bend at the knee, flex the foot, look over the left shoulder at your right foot. Now from here, bring yourself back to center. The weight comes forward so the shoulders come over the wrists, knee comes to the nose. Again, you can drop down onto your knee here. Leg comes back up, 2 circles. 1, 2. Weight comes forwards again, knee to the same elbow. And lift up. 1, 2. The weight comes forward, cross the body, knee to the opposite elbow. Taking it up. 1, 2. So that foot now is going to come through between the palms of the hands as you drop the back foot and the front of the foot on the mat. So again, if you are on your all fours position, just give it an oink forwards into the same position. So hands are going to lift up alongside the ear, push those hips forwards, but keep that engagement through the quad, through the lower abs, and lift. Inhale up, hands come to frame the front foot, tuck the back toe, lift the knee, and you're going to push the hips back and straighten both legs. So again, a little micro bend in there if you need it, or if you've got blocks or cushions, please do use them, whatever works for you. Or onto the fingertips. Again, if you can, palms of the hands can come down. 2 more breaths here. Keep the engagement through the legs, keep the hips parallel. So from here, bend that front leg, drop the back knee down, and the front of the foot. So we're going to come into that lizard pose again on this side, so I will move forward so that you can see. Blocks inside the front foot if you are using them, or cushions, whatever it is that you have. So we're going to heel toe the right foot out slightly, so that you've got space for both hands on the inside. And then again, exhale, come down onto the forearms. Squeezing that right elbow into the back of the shoulder. So again, option is to have no prop coming just down onto the forearms. Now I want you to again take that focus to pushing the knee out and rolling onto the outside edge of the right foot, drawing yourself a little bit deeper. Again, exactly the same if you're on your cushion. From there, come back onto the sole of the foot. 2 more breaths here. When you're ready, lifting up, discarding your block or your cushion. Both hands are coming flat on the mat. Tuck the back toe, lift that knee. So either just come up to stand from your lunge, or we're gonna hop that back foot forward in either one or a couple of motions. So 1, 2, 3, go. I don't know why I felt the need to count you down there. Into your yogi squat. Nicely done. So hands into the prayer, elbows into the knees. So the knees again, we push out, 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 chest center lifts. Couple of breaths here. The family have just arrived home if there becomes any noise. So when you're ready, hands are going to come to the mat. You're going to lift the hips up, heel toe the feet so they come underneath the hips, and exhale into your forward bend. So again, the knees can be bent here if they need to be. When you're ready, bend the knees, breathe in and lift all the way up. Bring in your prayer to your heart center. So we're going to come into a lunge. Option is to come into the high lunge where the back knee is lifted, or you can have the back knee down. I think it's probably easier for me to show you this from the side. So I'm quickly going to show you the stretch we're going to go into. So we're going to come into our lunge. So you're either up here or you're down here, whichever works for you. We're going to come into a side stretch, but from there, the hands are going to come forward. So they're going to come inside the front foot, and whether your back knee's lifted or down doesn't matter. The hands are going to walk forwards, and then you're going to lower the head. So you're stretching forwards and getting deep into that hip. We'll then walk ourselves back, come to an all fours position, and then do exactly the same the other side. Either up in the high lunge or with the knee down. Alrighty? So come down onto a high kneeling position. We're getting into it this way so that those of you that want to leave the knee down can leave it down. So we're going to bring the left foot forwards first. I just made a really big stomp. It's a good job you can't hear me at home. That was not very dainty at all. So knees on top of the ankle. So you can remain here with the back knee down, or you can tuck the toe and lift the back knee up. Now if you're lifting the back knee, draw the kneecap up and push back through the heel. Squeezing then the thighs together. So left fingertips come down towards your mat. Now you're going to really shine them down towards the floor. Right arm comes up alongside the ear, and then stretch towards the left side. So your fingertips come down, and then your right arm lifts up and over. Nice. Here, when you're ready, wiggle the arms forwards. They're both going to come inside that front foot. So again, you might need to heel toe it to make space. Put it back a little bit, so you can see. Right, hands come all the way forwards as far as you can go. So again, that back knee can be down. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Allow the head then to hang heavy. Again, really draw that left knee towards the back of your shoulder. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. When you're ready, walk the hands back so they're inside the front foot. Drop the back knee down and the front of the foot, and then come to your all fours position. So we're going to do exactly the same then on the other side. So the right leg comes forwards. I'm going to turn around because that's going to be facing away from you. So again, option is to keep this back knee down or tuck the toe and lift the knee. If you're lifting, draw the kneecap up, push the heel back. Right fingertips come down this time, left comes up and alongside the ear. Shine the fingertips down and then stretch, stretch, stretch. Inhale, lift. Hands come inside the front foot. So again, if you need to heel toe wider, make some space. And then stretch those hands as far forward as you can. Squeeze that right knee in towards the back of the shoulder. Allow the weight of the head to hang heavy. One more breath. Bringing the hands then back to center. Drop the knee, drop the front of the foot. Bring that knee back and then come into child's pose. So hips come back, fingertips forwards. Tuck the tailbone under, stretch the fingertips as far forwards as you can. And then when you're ready, roll up. And lift. Okay, so we're going to come into our wide fold standing, and from there we're going to come into our goddess. So it's another squat, but a really wide one. Thinking again about really pushing the prayer together, coming back into that wide fold. And then we're going to come down for some moving lunges, which again are going to look really, really different for everybody. So I'll try and show it from different variations because it will look so different dependent on the way the body is. But when it's come up to stand, we're going to come into a wide fold initially. So if you find that when you're in this wide fold here, that the floor is too far away, bring your cushion and just have it in the middle of the mat. So we're going to go wide with the legs. Do not worry when you're down there, you can heel toe the feet wider if you want to. Now, I just quickly want to show you that when you're in this position, when you fold, you want the feet flat, because if you're too far forwards on the balls of the feet, you're at an angle, and if you're too far back on the heels, you're at an angle. So you want that body completely central. So bringing whatever prop you're using, if you need one, to the center. You want the heels, the outer edges of the feet to be parallel to your mat. So your big toes might be in slightly. The movement again is going to come from the hips. So engage the quads, draw the calf muscles forwards towards the shins, and then you're going to flex forwards from the hips, bringing the hands down into your forward fold or onto your cushion. So keep breathing there. Deep breaths. So again here, you've got the option to heel toe the feet wider if you feel that your stretch can be deeper. And you have options to bring the forearms to the mat. Or if you can bring the head to the mat. But it all depends upon your flexibility. Make sure you've got that engagement through the legs so you're not rolling out on the ankles. So again, you want to think about mounting the chest centre down towards the mat before you roll yourself in, because you don't want to arch through the back. Each exhale, going just that little bit deeper. Now I want you to lift slightly, bend the knees. If you've heel-toed, just bring it in slightly. I'm going to turn around on my mat. And then you're going to lift up and keep a bend in the knees. So you're coming into a nice wide squat. Toes come out to the sides of the room, knees are out to the sides of the room. Bring your prayer together. So get deep, 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 deep. Think about trying to get the thighs parallel to the mat. Nice. Push the palms together. Keep pushing the knees out to the opposite sides of the room. 2 more breaths. Keep breathing. When you're ready, squeeze your bum and lift. Bring those feet parallel to the sides of the mat again. We're coming back into that fold. Engage the quads, draw the calf muscles towards the shins and flex from the hips. So again, try and think about keeping the back nice and flat rather than rounded. Each exhale, getting that little bit deeper. Again, option is to come onto the forearms, heel toe the feet wider, whatever works for you. To make sure the legs are engaged. Now, I want you to bring the fingertips through the legs, turn the fingertips away from you, so like where your bottom's facing, and then use the hands to draw yourself under, under, under. Keep the engagement through the legs. So your hands are like little hands. When you're ready, then releasing through. Come back to the original position. Bend the knees, hands come to the hips. And then lift and heel toe the feet together. Give it a bit of a shake out. Grab a drink if you want to. I'm going to show you this moving lunge and try and explain where it's going to be for everybody, because it is going to be such a different movement and you'll be in different places. So we're going to come into a lunge on one side and lift the toes of the opposite side. So you'll come in here. Now this may be up here, but you may also be all the way down here. Or all the way up here. And we are just going to transfer the weight, bending the opposite knee, bringing the opposite feet up. So again, you've got the options as to where you are. So you may be moving high, like this. You may be moving low. And your hands don't need to be off the floor. We can walk the hands across. Okay, so foot's flexed on the opposite leg from the bend. Okay? So take the feet wide and lunge into the left knee, lifting the right toes. So just come into a lunge. Now think about where this is for you. You may be high, you might not even touch the floor, you can use your knees, or you may be all the way down. Now you're going to lift up and either walk the hands over or keep them up, it's up to you. Lunge down the other side, lifting the opposite toes. And again, lift and over. And lift and over. And lift over. And lift over. Last one each side, lifting up, all the way over, and up, and over. From there, lift all the way up, heel toe the feet all the way together, and roll. So I want you to allow the arms to hang. Chin comes to the chest. Really feel that arch through the back. As you lift up, rolling the shoulders back and down. So then I just want you to come to lay on your back. So we're going to squeeze the knees into the chest, drop the knees to each side so it's nice and relaxed, and then we'll go into our relaxation. So, laying down on your mats. I got quite sweaty doing that. Squeeze the knees into the chest. So really give them a squeeze. Roll around in a circle on the mat, allowing the mat and floor beneath you to massage the back. So don't forget to go both ways. Right, then bring the arms out to the side at shoulder height. The knees then need to come above the hips. So make sure the knees and the hips are stacked. And then you're going to drop the knees to the left. So you've got a nice bend in the knees, and make sure the back of the right shoulder blade stays on the mat. So you don't want that to lift. And relax. Take a couple of breaths here. Really think about lengthening the spine to the bottom of the mat so that you're not twisted on a compression. When you're ready, inhale, legs up to center. Again, make sure they're above your hips and take it over to the other side. Again, the left shoulder blade wants to be in contact with the mat. You're extending the tailbone to the bottom of the mat. When you're ready, bring both knees into center. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Little rock if you need to. So we are going to lay down for our relaxation. If you want to pop anything warm on, or if you want to turn the lights down at home, do that now. I will change the music over and I'll turn the lights down here as well so you haven't got the glare from the screen. And we will go into our relaxation. So then laying in a position that's comfortable for you and closing into the eyes if you're happy to do so. I want you now to tune into the body at the end of the class and make a comparison as to how the body felt at the beginning of the class. So we tuned into the balance within the body, as well as any areas that felt tension. So now at the end of the class, I want you to tune into these areas and see if you notice more balance from one side of the body to the other. And whether you feel that the tension has released in the areas you felt it prior to class. Particularly the hips, which we've worked deeply into today. And the hips are a sister hinge to the shoulders. So hopefully you'll feel more open within the shoulders as well as within the hips. So I want you now to draw your awareness deeper inwards by taking your gaze to the space between your eyebrows. Focusing upon your brow center and allowing your inner gaze to drift deeper. So allowing the story and thoughts from the day and the week before you to drift away. If any thoughts do arise, allow them to drift away like wisps of cloud. Do not give them any energy. And then I want you to visualize within the space between your eyebrows a bubble. Now as you inhale, I want you to think about the bubble increasing in size, filling with your breath. And as you exhale, feel the bubble decreasing in size. Really twin the movement of this bubble within your mind's eye with your breath. As you inhale, the bubble expands. And as you exhale, the bubble deflates. Now I want you to use your breath to allow this bubble to travel all the way from the crown of the head through the body to the soles of the feet. So we're going to use our breath to direct the relaxation that comes from the bubble. So as you inhale, feel your bubble fill with that relaxation. And then as you exhale, and the bubble deflates in size, feel those relaxing feelings coming from the bubble to the crown of the head. Feel the corners of the eyes soften. Feel the corners of the mouth soften. Feel the forehead becoming cool and smooth. And the jawline relaxing and releasing. Again, as you inhale, refill the bubble with your relaxing feeling. And this time as you exhale, send the bubble down the muscle fibers of the neck. And as it deflates or decreases in size, the relaxing feeling travels down each individual muscle fiber. On your next inhale, the bubble inflates again with that relaxing feeling and covers both shoulders. And then as you exhale and the bubble deflates in size, the relaxing feeling comes over both shoulders, almost as if two hands are slowly and gently pushing the shoulders away from the ears. Again, as you inhale, inflate that bubble with the relaxing feelings. And then as you exhale, allow that feeling to swell within your heart center. Allowing the chest center to inflate. Again, as you inhale, you refill that bubble with the relaxing feelings. And then as you exhale, feel those feelings, the relaxation, swell within the abdominal cavity, where we habitually hold our attention. Inhale again, refilling that relaxing feeling. And then as you exhale, the feeling flows over the front of the hips, down the backs of the glutes. Inhale as the bubble inflates. And exhale as you feel the feeling almost like liquid down the fronts of the thighs, almost dripping through to the backs of the thighs. On the next inhale as the bubble inflates, really allow it to spread as wide as it can. And on the exhale, feel the feeling roll over the fronts of the knees, the soft and smooth skin at the backs of the knees, down the front of the shins, the calves, into then the ankles. Now on your last deep inhale, fill the bubble with as much of the relaxing feeling as you can. And on the last exhalation, feel the relaxing feeling flow over the front of both feet, down into each individual toe, and then out the soles of both feet, connecting them with the earth. Inhale one last time to inflate the bubble. And this time as you exhale, visualize the bubble popping. And that entire relaxing feeling flows from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. And then I want you to slowly begin to wiggle into the fingertips and into the toes, bringing your awareness back into the room around you. Drawing the knees into the chest center one by one, and giving them a squeeze into the body. Gently rocking from side to side, allowing the mat and floor beneath you to massage into the back. Rolling then over onto one side and pausing there for just a moment. And using then your top arm to push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Still with the eyes closed, draw the palms together and rub the hands together to create heat and energy. Placing the palms in over your face to breathe in the heat and energy you've created. Opening your eyes then to the darkness of your palms. Slowly then parting the fingers to allow the light to naturally come into your eyes. When you're ready, breathe in, lift the arms up. Bringing your prayer then past your brow center to your heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much. See you later.